All right, Wayne, let's go. What do we got?
All right, first on the list is we have a handicap parking question. There's a letter from the doctor here and asking about if we can provide him some help on parking on his section of Ligonier. We put some handicap parking across the street and eliminated some of his parking that he was using for his residence, or his patron.
Where is that at the church?
Let's see, across from Holy Family.
Yeah, it's a 1200 block, catty corner from the library,
Okay,
on the left-hand side. It's on the corner,
okay.
across from the Deer Service.
Just want to just explain your.
Yeah, please.
Okay, do I just?
That's fine.
They put one handicap parking in probably last year sometime. That was fine because I'd say about a quarter of my patients have handicap placards anyway. I'm a podiatrist. And recently that was expanded to 3 places. Well, that's eliminated the non-handicap parking, and a lot of my people coming in don't have the ability to walk that far. So they're playing around, getting dropped off on the other side of the street where there's no stopping, basically.
Do we know why we put the other 2 handicap spots in there?
I think we were asked for by the church.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, now there is, I mean, Mike looked at it, and we can look a little closer, but there's a possibility of putting 2 parking spots on your side of the street, because that is a one-way street.
Right.
There's parking on my side of the street up to the Latrobe Bulletin building. And then at that point, it stops and it becomes no parking on the left side.
Right.
And if we extend it down, you can put a couple of meters in it, because I like the meters, because it keeps people moving, and not someone drop their car off in 3 days.
Right.
Right.
You know,
I think Mike did some,
Yeah,
I just
I
measurements.
did look at it, and, to accommodate your needs, I think I'd safely put 2 spots there. 3 would be a problem because there's cutouts
Okay.
and a curb ramp, and I'm
Sure.
worried if I put a car right there, someone who has a wheelchair needs access to that sidewalk.
Well, and it does get used, because I do have wheelchairs.
So definitely 2 could be put there without any problems, without any sight distance problems or anything like
Sure.
that.
And that would help me a ton.
With meter,
Right. Yes, yeah, there would be a metered, 2
Yeah.
meter spots.
I think that can be done.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Great, thank you.
We aim to please. We can't always, but we try.
Next on the, just a reminder, I did send out the employee handbook. It would be on the agenda for the next, the meeting on the 10th for approval. I don't know if anybody had any questions, or it's pretty exciting reading.
Johnny, don't leave without talking to me, okay? John Frazilli.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
All right, next on the list is number 3 is there's $5,000 for the county for the K-9 program. This is basically out of money that they've collected from the, drug collections and different things like that. But we have a resolution that we can apply for, and the county will give you $5,000 for the K-9 program. Again, just more or less something we can put on the agenda for 10th. By the way, I keep saying the 10th because it's going to be a Tuesday.
Okay.
Annual renewal, which we do every year with Hoffman. He raised his rates a whole $5. I know, pretty expensive.
Years in a row.
But anyway, so it's on there. Assuming nobody thinks $5 is egregious, I think we can move forward. I'll put on the top of that. All right, this is number 5 is an FYI, emergency repair on the roof. The roof right over there above the fire training room. That roof is only 1,200 square feet. Unfortunately, we got 3 bids. One bid was $23,000, one bid was $22,000, we got an $11,500 bid, the bid you see there. So we didn't have to bid it because it was an emergency, but when the first bid came in at 23, we decided to try to get some alternate bids. 11 6.
11.
Yeah. Well, we're going to let the gentleman know that, to go ahead. I just was more or less just to kind of let you know. And something to keep in mind, because obviously the good part of it is they're going to fix the roof. The bad part is the rest of the roof is the same age. So at some point in time, we're going to have a problem with the rest of the roof. Not something pleasant to think about. Number 6, I went out and got a number of bids from the electric suppliers. We did this with Constellation 2 years ago. Constellation at that time came back with 5.37. This year, we're looking at 4.09. So it significantly reduces our costs. They are the other rent was 4.41. You can see them on top of her. But basically, just in this month of August, was just a month I took as a sample, we would save almost $1,600 by going with the new supplier. So, I'm surprised that electric rates are going up, and they're willing to lock this in for 3 years. So, 3 years.
So who is it? It's not Constellation still?
No, it's IGS.
IGS?
IGS, yeah, they're a broker. They're going to buy it from, on the market.
Yep.
But just like Constellation does, they're a broker too.
In 3 years, if we want out of that contract, if they decide to raise our rates, we can get out of that contract.
They can't raise their rates is locked.
For 3 years.
3 years. After
But
3 years.
After that 3 years.
We'll go out for bid again.
Bid again.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could go, there is a potential to go up to 5 years with their bid, but I wasn't sure exactly based on where the electric world was going, if it was good to go longer than, 3 years is a good long time.
Right.
I mean, who knows what the market will be like. I don't want to see us, I'm surprised it went down anyway, and maybe 3 years from now, we might have the same opportunity. I don't know.
And there's no change in service?
No. See, it's going to be, essentially, West Penn Power does the transmission and distribution. All we're buying is the energy that runs the line.
Right.
So, the electric energy. Yeah, you won't see anything different. So basically, and I will put that on the, I'm going to talk to the supplier and make sure we lock it in if council's comfortable with it, and then we'll approve it on the, All right, quality of community ordinance.
I submitted this to council last week for your review. Ann and I are still working on some of the details. We're going to have our last meeting on it tomorrow. So what we'll have on, I guess, on the agenda for the October meeting would be to authorize me to advertise it, and it could get voted on in November. And if you guys have any comments or questions with what I did submit to you, please feel free to approach me.
Yeah, I misspoke earlier. We'll do the same thing with the employee handbook. It'll be advertised and then voted on in November.
It's not something that we need a pre-enactment notice, only post-enactment notice, so it could be on the agenda.
Okay, well,
Whatever, yeah.
And I don't know if there's a hurry or not. Haven't had one for.
I don't think there's a hurry.
Many years.
If you look in your packet, there are 2 openings. Again, this will be something for the meeting on the 10th, but there are 2 individuals that are looking to get on the LMA, Paul Upson and a Michael Lombardo.
We only have one opening, and I'm not appointing until after the first of the year.
Oh, okay.
They're going to have a change in leadership there in a couple of months, so I'm not going to make an appointment until after the first of the year.
Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll stall that until January. I think the gentleman's been off for a while anyway.
He has.
Yeah. Obviously, everybody's aware of the Unity Township situation. Mike went to a meeting here at 4:30, and we can speak to that a little bit, but once he's done, I have some questions on how we handle letting go.
Yeah, I attended the meeting at Unity Township at 4:30, and basically it was a lot of municipalities from around the area, from anywhere from Swickley to Cook to Ligonier Township to Derry, Mount Pleasant. Were invited to attend, and basically we talked about what we can do to help Unity Township out in this the situation that they have with the fire. So pretty much, everyone's willing to help and give something, and we you know, as long as council's in agreements, we are too. You know, we're able to give, you know, hand tools, signage, we can loan a truck, you know, if needed, street sweeping, you know, we have an option to, you know, help them out sweep. And so everyone, you know, from every municipality had something to give. You know, with us too, one of my options was, you know, if in the wintertime for snow removal, obviously we're kind of in Lawson Heights to begin with, we're out of that area. Instead of raising our plow to get to the city, we can keep it down, you know, to help clear some of the streets on our way there. And we just want to make sure that we're, you know, getting everything done here in town for the residents, that we're not going to stop what we're doing here in order to help them out. But I, you know, talked to John Mylan, so he's going to talk to me because all their signs, their traffic signs, stop signs, everything got destroyed, gradles, their sweeper, lowboy, trucks, you know, so they're very limited on equipment. So, you know, you know, so we talked about that, and you know, with us being neighbors right there, you know, we'll do what we can to, you know, help them out.
Well, I was wondering, like, in areas where, you know, that surround the city, you know, like when you're street sweeping or doing certain things, it would just seem like, you know, that's what you're looking at probably.
Yeah,
And then other municipalities that bump up against, you know, Lysippus or somewhere else might come in and help them, and dairy and all that kind of stuff. Is that kind
Yes.
of what you're trying to do geographically?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, and that's the reason why I kind of picked, you know, the Lawson Heights area, because we travel center, we travel Latrobe Street, we go up to Monastery, you know, so we go through their territory to get to our territory. And so there's a lot of things with that we can help out with.
Because if you recall, when we had our problems with running with one truck or, you know, maybe two trucks, they, you know, they offered to help do the same kind of thing for us. And so how long is it going to, like,
You know
to
what,
order those things, doesn't it take months? Or?
Yeah, it's going to take some time in order to, they have a meeting with International tomorrow over trucks. They're trying to work a deal where they can get the trucks ASAP, but it might take anywhere between 4 and 6 months to get the trucks.
Oh.
You know, a lot of the equipment is going to take some time to get. You know, like I said, a lot of the other municipalities that or townships have some of the bigger equipment that they can lend and everything. You know, I think Mike Lombardo, you know, was saying that, you know, whatever we lend, or if the city decides to lend anything, they won't insure it full. You know,
That's going to be my question. How do we handle the liability?
yeah, they won't insure everything. Now, with our street sweeper, we would have to operate that if we ever did sweep. The same thing we do with Derry Township. We have that intermunicipal agreement.
Right.
We help Derry out. We operate that, and we get in exchange help from Derry for things.
Yeah, that's the
It's-
question. I mean, it's letting the tools and letting them use our trucks is less of an issue, but we can't really let them use the street sweeper. We can do the street sweeper for them, we can't let them use it. So the question is, you know, is council comfortable with if one of our employees is tied up for a day doing street sweeping, you know, to help them? And it's just a question, because I've got to ask.
I think, you know, we leave that to Mike as to making the determination as to what the priority list is that day.
Well, I just want to make sure council is aware of the fact whether we charge or not.
Oh,
No, I don't, Mike would have to schedule the schedule, no, I don't mean that. What I'm saying is if it's out, like, if we go in Derry Township, they pay us a fee.
oh, they do?
Well, they did for paving last year, because that was the first.
Well, who paid for the street sweeping this year? That was,
Oh, that was Derry Borough.
Derry Borough,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, sorry. Yeah, I was getting mixed up with when we paid, it was Wood Street, that was kind of.
no, I mean, they paid us like, they paid the wage, a set wage and some wear and tear in the vehicle. You know, that's one way of doing it, but again, if council feels that, you know, it's beneficial to donate it, I don't have a problem, I just need to have
I think
an
we
answer,
will,
that's all.
I think we see how it goes, and if it turns out that it's going to be, you know, an inordinate amount of time, then maybe we revisit that. What do you guys think?
And also, if it's done like you said, we shouldn't have to do street sweeping for all of you in
No.
township. It's you, Jerry.
No, you
so-
couldn't, yeah.
Yeah.
They had two sweepers just for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think, let's see how it plays out.
You know what, Rose, I think we could do it, and then when they get back on their feet, I'm sure they would, you know.
But,
They're gonna help us
Jack,
out.
That's my theory. We need to help them out. It's a
I
neighborhood
agree.
community. We need to help them out as much as we possibly can. And when they get back on their feet.
Exactly. And, you know, I think Mike will manage it. I mean, you know, he'll make sure that,
They did state too with, you know, other things, you know, they're able to help out. So, you know, one of the things I see beneficial, we need a lot of things paved. We don't have a paver. So, you know,
Yeah,
that can be an
One
option.
hand washes the other.
Right.
Yes,
So,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
work together with what we don't have to get what we need.
I think you have our full support on that. Right?
And they've
everybody?
lost hundreds of thousands.
Oh, I know they
of
have.
dollars.
I know they
Hundreds
have.
of dollars, maybe probably close to $1 million or over $1
Yeah,
million.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the thing too about the street sweeper is the fact that at the January, or the December is putting more.
Yeah,
Right.
And I'll talk to Attorney Falatovich about preparing an intergovernmental cooperation agreement, because if we are doing this, we'll want to have it, you know,
I
an
agree,
agreement in
yeah,
paper. Well, I've done it.
Well,
Yep.
the change in leadership is going to do that too. Yeah, thanks, Zach. That's a good idea.
Okay, all right. Last on the list is the sale of Spring Street, the parking lot behind 1100 Lincoln there. We'll have I've received the bids, I hope so, and we'll award it on the,
Okay.
That would be something.
I'm gonna give him a call, make sure he's aware of the, we can advertise it.
Right.
Make sure he's aware of the advertisement.
Thank you, Wayne.
Oh, no problem. That's it for me.
Sergeant, do you have anything for the good of the order?
No.
Oh, come on. Mike, anything else?
Yeah, we completed our paving for the city paving, Main, Hamilton, and Chestnut. Worked out very well, other than one street, Main Street. What we ran into whenever we milled it, about a little over an inch down, we had stone. So unplanned for, so what we had to do was we couldn't put top coat right over top the stone, so we had to put binder down as a base. So unfortunately, it was an additional $12,000 that wasn't planned on the paving. The option was not do it and run the risk in a year and a half, it'll break up, put the binder down, put the base in, put the top coat on. The only thing that changed the street was instead of the water table existing, there's pavement from curb to curb now, because there was no way to excavate the gutter out in order to put the asphalt in between. But with the whole street having curb lines on both sides, there's no problem with the water channeling down the roads and running the curb line to the basins and everything. So turned out well. A lot of the residents very happy with it.
Yeah, if you're going to do it right.
Well, and it's still within the budget.
Yes.
Paving anyway, so it's not a budget buster.
So that's done, and time to start planning for next year. I think. All right.
Time flies. Ann?
Don't have anything.
Chief Brazili?
Not much. 333 Main Street.
No, what?
Nothing, just
No.
being pro-blood.
Yeah, Zach, where are we on that ordinance?
I sent it to you guys on Tuesday
Yeah.
of last week.
Yeah, I have it. I mean, but you're just waiting for our responses, and then is the plan maybe the same thing? If we don't, is trying to get that in place by the end of the year or something like that, or? is it-
Yeah, I mean, once I receive your feedback, I can make any modifications as you all feel necessary.
Yeah, I read it today, but I haven't had a chance to really think about it. I know we just got it in the email today. I think it was today, wasn't it?
No, I sent it last
Oh,
Tuesday.
that was last Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it come through again today.
Yeah, I resent
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
To Ms. Weller.
I have it in the car. So anybody have any comments on it at this point?
Not at this
Questions?
point. Yeah, once you guys are comfortable with it, you can direct me to advertise it for passage at the next meeting.
I think a good lawyer will sue us.
We have a good lawyer.
Somebody else's.
And these will both make money.
That's
Walking that
right.
Thin line.
Jerry, you had a question about the parking lot across from Lesko Credit Union, and maybe able to answer.
They're putting an outlet onto Ligonier Street. Why?
Has zoning hearing board let them,
Why?
The zoning, what did you say?
they came in for a zoning hearing. And that's what they had them them do.
The zoning hearing board allowed them to do that.
Well, not close to 5. Are they only going to be able to turn one way?
Yes.
Come out and not go in that way?
They cannot go in that way.
Why would they do that?
That gives them a little more
That's what they
parking.
did.
They can come in from the back and they can only leave and make a right. They wouldn't want,
Are
didn't
you on
want
the
to cross
zoning
the
hearing
traffic.
board? Maybe Mr. Jenko can fill us in, because he's on the zoning hearing board.
Well, I really can't say much because I voted against it.
Oh. Well, okay, well, what was the rationale? Do you recall?
There seemed to be some reason to expedite the decision for the zoning first. The point was that there was basically a tie vote, and at that time the attorney said that, you know, if the tie isn't resolved, it would automatically be
And no.
a yes.
What?
It would automatically be approved. And so there was a revote, and someone changed, and then that was it.
Does that make sense to you, Zach?
Does not. Before I,
Well,
Say
look, there's
anything
nothing we can
negative.
do about it now, unfortunately,
Talk to
because
that
it's already,
person.
the curb cut's already there. The curb cut's already there. So, in the future, we need to,
What's the chances we can get no turn on the red coming out? Like, if
well, if you're on
on
Avenue
the
D.
street there,
If
yeah.
you're on Avenue D, and you're turning, and there's a, I mean, you can turn on red there, and that's a long light at Latrobe Steel there on Avenue D. Is that E? D. D.
It's not that
If you're
long.
facing Latrobe Steel,
Yeah.
that's a pretty long light.
It ain't. I hit it every morning coming on Ligonier Street, and there's no cars around.
Well, then there was one that went by, because I worked there. I know how long that light is to sit there, but I'm sure there's a lot of right turns on red, so how's that going to impact the right turn on red? You know what I'm saying? You've got somebody pulling out of the parking lot, plus somebody turning right on red. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I had
Yeah.
looked at it, and I had Mike look at it
Yeah.
twice, because I
Yeah.
didn't like his first answer.
Yeah,
Sent
I-
him back out, he came back, and
Yeah.
this is
Now,
what happened.
Turn on right, I think their first answer, I said absolutely not when they wanted to exit anyway. So
Okay.
That cannot be done. You know, that's crossing traffic, and I think their option to the right, you know, because we both looked at it, right is not really going to impede on any of the traffic around. Traffic that has the green light turn right, I mean, that's still, whoever's leaving the parking lot has to stop, and wrong has to yield the right of way then to any traffic that's lawfully.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm talking about. Now you've got kind of two cars almost sitting side by side, both going to turn right,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Joe?
they do it.
Or Mike? Okay. That concerns me a little bit. I mean, look, the visibility's great. You should be able to see that car sitting beside you.
Yeah.
But who's going to go first?
Right. Yeah.
You can't eliminate the human factor.
I know, but you can certainly make it a little more difficult for them to
Yeah. Now, I
have an
think
accident.
I think the lot had only 6 spots.
I think there's 7 or 8.
And that stuff doesn't have to come before us, Zach?
under our zoning code, no.
No.
Most municipalities, yes. Ours does not.
Very good, Zach.
We have another project for you, Zach.
There's always a problem.
It's job security. Oh, well, I mean, there's not much we can do about it now because the curb cut's already there and it's already been approved, but I am
Yeah,
curious.
they did take, I think, Ralph, 2 spaces from the top out, just so there'd be more visibility.
Yeah.
They were gonna put a planter or something there. But
I think signage too is what, you know, I requested more additional signage across the street, you know, advise them not to turn off.
You know as well, you and I are sitting here, the people are gonna turn left.
Now, I haven't seen the curb cut, I'm not sure if it's straight or if they angled it to the right.
It
Make sure
does
it's straight.
not
Oh,
look
straight?
angled to me.
Okay. Because I, you know, sometimes, you know, okay.
Mr. Jenko said there wasn't enough room to angle it because the property owner next door wasn't real happy about it either, if I remember what I heard. Well, anybody have anything else for next meeting, or anything they want to talk about, anything that's on their minds. So I'm just wondering if anybody's hearing anything more about the fire pits. Joe, you guys hear anything?
Well, we still get, I know there was a couple residents out on Lloyd Avenue that seem to be bickering about this situation over the last few days. It's been getting kind of,
Is that the one that, Ann, that we
ridiculous.
talked about? Did we
Yeah,
resolve that?
They got a permit, they were where they needed to be.
They moved it?
I don't know.
the residents are completely lawful and in compliance with the ordinance. It's a very small little self-contained, like one you might purchase at Lowe's. It's off the ground with a little
Mhm.
mesh lid on it. It's a nice little family with kids. They just go out there, and but the neighbor seems to be preoccupied with it and causing a bigger issue than what it needs to be.
I had my window open the other day and I could smell them. It didn't bother me. I mean, I guess it's personal preference, but. Okay. Anything else?
What's the chance of synchronizing the stoplights on Ligonier Street? Yeah, they're all out of
It can
whack.
be done, but with a fee.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can get it done with traffic system services. They would have to come out to re-synchronize everything.
Did they
Yeah,
just,
that's-
did
that's
they get
the
out of
problem.
sync by,
Well, power surge,
Yeah, ever since
lost
that-
power. We have so much
Black
depot in
outs.
Alexandria streets. There's an issue with that.
hey, how about that bridge though? Doesn't it look nice?
Looks good.
The railing's good.
Yeah.
I almost hit people. There were so many working there the one day. I was like, holy cow, where did these people come from?
Do have they were holding a project control meeting that I'll be attending there.
Down at the drop-off place,
Why
drop-in
is
place.
that light out sometimes down on Alexander and Depot?
Well, I can't answer that, to be honest with you, because that just recently been going on. We had a company come out, and it was an insured issue with a lightning strike possibly. They replaced cables, they replaced components. It is just a very aging signal, and a lot of the wiring and the span arms need done. And to rip everything out, and we're so close to have new traffic lights done, that's what I'm worried about. I just want to kind of keep the costs as low as I can until we get the new signals in. And because just to give you an idea, the one at Depot and Ligonier Street for the replacement on that when the truck hit it, just on the one arm mast is $70,000 for the wiring, for the box. So you're looking at a lot of money. And I can't answer why it does it. They came out and fixed numerous components, and a lot of the wiring, it's just bad, and it's just old.
So whenever it goes out, 'cause it's been a half a dozen times, maybe not quite that many, but does somebody have to go there anyway to make it blink?
Well, usually what I'll do is I'll get the phone call from the police, and I'll come in and reset the whole unit. So every time it happens, I come in whenever I get called and reset it.
Because the only thing I've noticed is, like, the first time I ever saw that happen, there were actually, in addition to them blinking, there were stop signs.
Yeah,
And not lately, and I've seen a couple near misses.
Well, we were having problems with both. With the traffic light, the way it's operable, they should be following the laws of whenever it's flashing yellow,
Yeah.
proceed with caution.
Right.
Slow down, proceed, red, stop. So what we did was, whenever it was doing that, we shut the whole signal down, put the stop signs up.
Mhm.
The problem is, we can't, have someone monitor that 24 hours a
Right.
day. So, it happened over the weekend, which I came in yesterday and reset it, worked fine. And it's still working fine. And now for us to shut the whole system down and just put the stop signs up, we're just eliminating that traffic light. And I just want to try to use it to the best of our abilities. If it's going to work, or if it happens to trip here and there, I'll be willing to come in and reset the unit and get it functioning again. But I can at least have the traffic systems take a look at it, see what see what they think, but it's going to be a lot of money to repair that. It's a lot of wire that needs to be replaced.
They don't stop at stop signs anyhow.
True.
And another subject too, before I forget, we had a Park and Rec meeting on Thursday, and one of the things we talked about was Craig reaching out to Wayne and Mike, you guys, for them to get a quote to do that parking lot up to code. I'm not saying that it's going to be part of what they come back with as a proposal to us, but they had a long list of stuff that they wanted to do with the money plus the grant money, should we get it. And one of the things we said is we wanted to know about that. So I told them to see you guys and
it's
work
been
with you
square footage and stuff like that. Just
as to
figured-
making sure, because I don't know that the quote that Craig had, I think he told you, Jack, it wasn't up, or he didn't know if it was,
Yeah.
if it met the city's code, so we're gonna do it. I know there was talk at one time about maybe getting it up to code and then turning it over to the city, and so if we're gonna do that, it would, now would be the time. But we have to revisit that, but we need an accurate number first.
Go ahead and do some measurement.
Yeah, I can measure it. I can get square yardage and everything and get some figures.
Any plans on another electronic pickup?
No, I don't think there's going to be any here anytime soon in the future. Westmoreland Clean Ways still shut down with the fire accepting electronics, and I got word that they're going to be shutting that facility down and moving to Yukon.
Yukon, I saw that, yeah.
And there's nothing around. We've exhausted every option, opportunity, reaching out to every place, and no one can accept them. They're kind of inundated with what they have already, and can't dispose of them. Even our DEP inspector that comes to our transfer station, we even asked him, and there's nothing out there. There's no one out there around.
So Best Buy takes stuff like that.
Only if you purchase. Yeah, they used to take them. They won't accept them anymore. So it's we
So
have a
what
lot.
do people do?
There's a place in Export that I go to. where you
Yeah,
guys
throw
pay
it
for
along the road.
Exactly. Set it on the street, set it on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but
people-
then what?
And we get stuck picking it up.
What do you do with it?
we have to-
I don't want to know, I don't want to know.
We dispose of it properly.
No, it's there's a guy in Irwin that charges to take
Yeah,
them.
he said he goes to Export and he pays, so.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay. But
So is Westmoreland Clean Waste not going to do it anymore, even at their Yukon facility?
I doubt it.
Okay. Wayne, anything else going on downtown we need to know about?
Nope, working on the budget. The budget will be ready for you all to see probably very shortly. Doesn't look too bad this year because of the bonding and the bond issue. We saved $40 million on the bonds, and you've got like 2-year period where it's giving you a saving grace. So, I've got all the department heads have given me information back, and Mike's got some of his toys in there, so we'll move forward.
Jack, do you want to have a quick executive session to talk about what we're talking about? Okay. We just want to have a quick executive session after this to talk about personnel matters. So, nobody has anything else?